Hey guys, today I wanted to talk a little bit about Epic Games and kind of their company. Fortnite, some of the changes they've made, and the community's reaction to some of the changes they've made. I hesitated to make this video just because I have two brothers that work at Epic Games, and they're both pretty high level at the company. And I also have a bunch of friends that work at Epic Games, and so I'm always hesitant to say anything about the company, whether it's positive or negative, just because I have relations there. Everything I'm about to say is just my own thoughts. It has nothing to do with my family or friends at the company. They're my thoughts as a business person, as a player, as a fan, etc. Before I go on, guys, what you're looking at in the background is a map I'm working on. I spent a lot of time in creative mode for those that are new to the channel or watching, and I'm making a little map, a death run map with the new like prefabs from Borderlands, and it looks like really cool and comic-y. And basically what the idea of the map is, you come up here and you push this button on this robot, and one of these will randomly open, and it's either a hard death run level or an easy death run level, and then you just kind of go through, and there's like hard, easy, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna maybe be working on this as I go throughout this video, just because it kind of helps me think sometimes to build. Ironically. Anyways, it helps me to think a little bit as I build and get my thoughts out. If you're new to the channel, you should subscribe and turn on notifications. We do a lot of stuff Fortnite creative. Sometimes we play Battle Royale, and maybe even sometimes we check out other games as well, even though my family works at Epic. It's okay to play other games, guys. It's okay! What I wanted to address today, guys, is not necessarily the changes that have been made in Fortnite recently, like with the building, or with the mech, or with anything specific that Epic has done. What I want to talk about today is Epic as a company and the community that has built around Fortnite. So with all the changes recently to the mech, to building, etc., there have been a lot of people like complaining that Epic doesn't listen, they don't care about the community, they never listen to the community, or whatever. There's a lot of comments like that. Some of the comments get really nasty, guys. My brother had a birthday recently, and I tweeted out, "Happy birthday, you're an awesome guy, Donald," you know, that kind of thing. Most people were really cool about it, but there was a number of folks that jumped on my Twitter, on Donald's Twitter, calling him names, like saying really nasty things, saying, you know, "I don't care about your birthday, make this change to the mech," or whatever it is. You know, it was just really nasty, and it kind of was disappointing to me that people can't separate real life from a video game. Anyways, a lot of these comments and people got me thinking about Epic as a company, right? Do they listen to the community? Are they, you know, do they just not care? Are they only focused on what they want and not what the community wants? So here's my thoughts. We've never seen a video game like Fortnite before. Now, I'm not actually talking about the game Fortnite. I'm talking about the developers, Epic. Let's just review for a second, guys, some of the things that Epic has done with Fortnite. I mean, the number one thing that sticks out to me is weekly updates. I mean, how often do you see updates from other developers? Some games you never see an update on it, right? They release it and that's it. It's the old school 1990s style of developing. Other developers, they promise updates and then they send out one maybe every quarter if you're lucky. But Epic has something pretty major every week, whether it's a new weapon, a new device, some major change to the island. I mean, there's always something happening on Fortnite. Not only are these weekly updates for the Battle Royale version of the game, but we also have creative mode and Save the World that get weekly updates as well. Not only are there weekly updates, there's also new skins constantly coming out, where a lot of other developers, like, that is their update, is they just have new skins, or, you know, nothing major in their game. It's just, oh, here's a new skin to play with. There's new LTMs constantly in the game. I mean, gosh, you got to play as Thanos multiple times, and all the Avengers. There was a mode where lava came out of the ground and made you have to get to higher ground, and lots of other awesome LTMs constantly in the game. Then on top of the weekly updates and the constant LTMs, there are seasons every 10 weeks. with major updates. I mean, you got everything from a new battle pass to major map changes. I mean, there's just a lot happening with every new season. And then constantly throughout the season, there are awesome, really fun things happening. I mean, let's think about like Kevin for a second. Kevin rolled around the map for an entire season and it was so fun. There's live events like the rocket taking off, which was one of the most amazing things we've ever experienced in gaming as a community together. And that's not the only live event they've done. They've done tons of other live events. They even had a live concert with Marshmello in the game. I mean, that was one of the coolest experiences I've had in video games in a long time. I could keep going on, guys. I could keep going on and on about the cool stuff that Epic has done with Fortnite, and that is they're continuing to do with Fortnite. My point is that we have gotten pretty spoiled with the constant influx of content that Epic is always giving us. Now, with this influx of all of this content, Epic is bound to make some mistakes. There have been a lot of updates that have come out where there's been items or changes made that may not have been the best. When you're putting out that many updates on an annual basis, there's gonna be some things that just don't sit right. This is where the Fortnite community enters. Now, the Fortnite community is composed of a lot of different elements. You've got all the folks on Reddit, all the folks on Twitter, you've got pros, you've got casuals, you've got the people that don't ever say anything online, but they play the game or they stop playing the game. You got people that like creative mode. You got the people that like save the world mode. You've got just the PR faithfuls. You've got people that follow their favorite content creators or streamers and often will just echo the opinions that those folks have. And you've got people that just play the game on their own and don't follow any other content creators at all. You got people that play many hours a day and some people that only play for a few minutes every day. You've got console players, PC players, mobile players. You have tons of different segments that have different opinions and different needs to make the game fun for them. So when we're talking about the Fortnite community as a whole, it's not just what you're seeing on your favorite social network or from your favorite influencer. You know, sometimes those things from influencers or whatever seem like that's the whole community because they're the loudest, most influential voice out there. But often what those guys are saying are not always reflective of the whole community. Sometimes the silent majority has a very different opinion. So Epic is in the middle of all of this and has to figure out what is the community actually wanting. What's gonna keep the health of the game high? What's gonna keep the most players playing the game? Is it adjustments for the competitive community or for the casual community? Is there some compromise that will work for both communities? How do they keep their blistering pace of updates and keep it fun for everyone? That is not an easy job for Epic at this stage in the development of Fortnite because it is such a massive community now with millions and millions of players on so many different platforms and with so many different opinions. Let's review just for a minute some of the maybe more major public events where maybe Epic released an item or something that people didn't like. So let's talk about the Infinity Blade and the mechs and the recent building changes. So the Infinity Blade was released and people freaked out, and within 3 days Epic had made a change and that was totally warranted. The mechs, same thing had happened. People were freaking out for a few weeks and then eventually Epic made the change. They nerfed the mech. Maybe it took longer than some people wanted, but let's think about this for a second. Within 3 weeks, this major item that they had spent a ton of time and money creating had been totally nerfed. For developers to react that quickly to something is really unheard of. What other game have you seen react to the community that quickly? It's been really mind-boggling to me to watch how quickly Epic responds to the community, puts out communications, and makes changes to the games. Sometimes it's slower than it probably could have been, yes, but they always make a change or nerf something or add something, but they always make the change that's necessary. I can't tell you how many times I've heard, oh, Fortnite's gonna die, Fortnite's dead, Fortnite's gone, whatever. And guess what? It's still around. When Apex Legends came out, people were like, Fortnite's dead. And because everyone was playing it for a few weeks, but then everyone came back because Fortnite made adjustments and changes and had their weekly content coming out versus Apex that just didn't have any content coming out. They were not prepared for the new standard that Fortnite has set with people. I digress, guys. My point is that Epic listens to the community. To say that they don't listen to the community is really false. They're really like the only developer that's truly listening to their community and making changes based on the community feedback. The last thing I want to talk about is the competitive community. And I've seen a lot of people out there saying, Epic just doesn't care about the competitive community. I hardly think a company that spends $100 million in prize money, not to mention the millions and millions of dollars they put into the World Cup and to all the other live events they've done, from pro-ams to true tournaments to whatever. There's been so much invested in the professional community. It's really disingenuous to say that Epic doesn't care about the competitive community. I mean, was the World Cup not just an amazing event for you guys to watch? It was awesome for me. I loved it. I loved it so much. I'm sorry if this has been kind of a long rant, guys. My purpose was really to just show that Epic is doing a lot of great things. Yes, they make mistakes. Most of the times those things get corrected. The constant negativity online is just really kind of wearing me down. So I felt like I had to make something that kind of highlighted a little bit more of the positive side of things, and also just talk about some of the hard situations that Epic is in trying to keep so much of the community happy. And they've got a massive, colossal game that millions of people play, and they're trying to keep happy. So be patient with the employees, guys. Don't lash out at them. Try to be positive. One of my favorite content creators out there, his name is Sancho West. He said it really good. People were asking him how he's always happy even when there's bad updates. After expressing that he just loves his job as a content creator, he also said it's okay to be angry. Just don't get caught up in the hamster wheel. Express your anger safely and then take a step back. This is what helps me, and I hope it helps you. Guys, I echo that. Take a step back, take a deep breath, think of the awesome things that you get to enjoy in your life in playing video games at all, and just try to be happy. It's okay to express your anger, but then take a deep breath. Okay, guys, I love you. I love the Fortnite community. I love that Epic is doing everything they can to give us this awesome game. I hope they'll make the right adjustments that will keep people in playing the game and provide hours of fun in the future. All right, that's enough from me. I love you. Have an awesome day, guys.